This video is all about how to have a great dog training business website, which is really important because the better your website is for your dog training business, the less you have to spend on advertising and the easier it is to get all the clients you want. So obviously this is really important. So let's dive into this and all about all the things you need to do and all the things you need to know so you can avoid a lot of really big mistakes as well on your website. I'm Molly, the creator of MakeItAsADogTrainer.com, where you can find all kinds of amazing things and help for marketing your dog training business and just getting started or figuring out how to do all the things having to do with marketing and getting clients. So the first thing you need to think about is whether or not having a website is even important, because especially if you're just getting started, you might be thinking, I need to kind of get things going quickly. Websites are kind of a pain. They're kind of hard to design and figure things out. There's so many decisions to make. So maybe I'll just have a Facebook page or an Instagram or, just put up a profile on Thumbtack or something like that and call it a day. So do you even need a website? The answer is, if you want to be able to be successful, especially long term, having a website is definitely a huge, huge asset for a couple of reasons. Number one, the best leads that you get will be either people who get directly referred to you, so referrals, and people who search for you. So we'll just call those searchers. So referrals are people obviously that past clients or friends or anybody like that has referred to you. Those people will probably still look at your website to decide whether or not to contact you. In fact, this place that I'm in right now is not my house. This is a scuba diving resort that we picked mainly based on referral and also looking at their website to decide whether or not we actually wanted to stay here. We knew that there was a certain dive guide for scuba diving that works here, and we wanted to use him as a dive guide, but we also just looked at the website to make sure that it's a nice place. So even if it's a referral, and even if you're pretty sold on a particular service, you might actually still look at their website to see what they're about, and that's really important. Those referrals will be more likely to take action and sign up and contact you and do all those things if you have a great website. It's just a fact. The other reason is searchers, the people who are searching for a dog trainer, need to be able to find something when they search. So if they go to Google and type in dog trainer near me, you don't want them just finding your Facebook page. It's not going to be the information that's presented in the right order and in the right format to make them more likely to contact you. So those people are the ones that are most likely to take action, the ones that actually search for you. So they need something to find when they're searching. If you just have a Facebook page or an Instagram page or anything else, that might be something that people stumble upon, but people who stumble upon you are less likely to take action because they weren't already searching for the service. People who are searching for the service are more likely to be buyers, and that's also just a fact. So yes, having a website is very important. So let's talk about how to make sure your website is actually working. Unless you are absolutely completely brand new to your dog training business and you don't have anything set up yet, you probably already have a website and you just want to make sure that it's actually working for you and getting you some leads and getting people to actually contact you. So how do you know if it's working as well as it could? And then, of course, if you're brand new and you get a website going, how do you make sure it does work? What kinds of things do you need to do and not do? All that stuff. So to know whether or not it's working, the first thing that is really helpful to know is what to expect in terms of what is a good, what they call conversion rate off your website. So people find you, they look at your site, and they decide whether or not to contact you. It's not just about how much advertising you dump into the website. It's about making sure that advertising pays off. So you do whatever kind of effort or you spend any kind of money in order to get people to find you. If they don't contact you, it does no good. So that's why I said before, if you have a great website, you don't have to spend as much on advertising to get all the clients you want because your website turns more of them into leads. So you get the eyes on your website, and hopefully you can figure out about how many that is by looking at some kind of website dashboard or analytics to figure out how many people are finding you per month. Then out of those people, how many are actually contacting you? That's your leads. Out of those between those two numbers, what you're really aiming for is at least 10% of the eyes, the website traffic, to contact you. So that's what you're looking for. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other things related to marketing after that, whether or not they actually, get in touch with you and stay in touch with you and don't ghost you after the first time they contact you, and whether or not they come for a consultation and whether or not they sign up and how much they spend. All of those things are related to other marketing skills as well, like your selling skills, your program creation skills, what's in your programs, your pricing skills, how wise you are at pricing your services. All those things are also things we talk about here on this channel and over at makeitasadogtrainer.com. So you can find that stuff later. But to make sure that your website actually gets people to contact you, there's a few things to keep in mind. Number one, the words on the website are definitely the most important thing, what you actually say. So learning how to communicate in a way that pulls people in and knowing how dog owners think and what they want and what they value and how they're feeling, what their frustrations are, what they would value in your programs, what they really want for an outcome. All of those things are things that sometimes we as dog trainers take for granted because we think we know what those things are, because we ourselves maybe in the past, maybe we were a dog owner that struggled with dogs, so we feel like we kind of know what dog owners are looking for in training, but maybe we've kind of forgotten how they think and how they talk when they are not dog trainers. And so the first thing you're going to want to make sure you do is read your website from the standpoint of somebody who is not a dog trainer and somebody who is, doesn't know all the terminology. So something that a pretty smart 10-year-old would be able to understand, basically, is what you're going for. And mainly talk about them, your clients, what they want, how they feel, what they're looking for, what they're experiencing, how they feel about the problems, how they feel about the solution, all that stuff, instead of just what you do. So just focusing on what you do and how you do it isn't going to be as compelling as you think and make people want to contact you. Making them feel understood about where they are and what they want is the thing that will make them want to contact you, because they will feel seen and heard and understood. And that's ultimately what people want at first. They want someone to say, I get you. I know what you're going through. I got you. We will get you where you want to go. I know how you feel. And just be reassuring. So just talking about you, yourself, your platform for your own passions and how you think things should be done as a dog trainer isn't going to be as convincing as you might think. So focus those words, what marketing people call copy, all the words on your website. That is the most important part of your website. And having great skills on copywriting is super, super important, and definitely something that's worth the time to study and learn, and definitely something I can help you with. Another thing that's important about your website, another kind of important factor, is the design. And in the past, I would always say the content, the copy, is way more important than the design, but I've seen some pretty ugly websites. And the problem with ugly websites is that people will tend to be surprised about your prices, no matter how cheap you are, if your website is ugly. The nicer your website looks, the less they're expecting you to be super, super cheap. So it's really easy to undercharge or feel like a fraud, or get a lot of people who are surprised at your prices, even if you're undercharging, if your website's not nice and modern looking and professional looking. So if you do set up a website as, just DIY and just create it yourself, you have to have a pretty good eye for what good websites look like. And sometimes that's tough because we're dog trainers. We're not necessarily great at everything. So that doesn't mean that we're necessarily great at design. You might need help with that. And sometimes getting a designer can be quite expensive. I do have a solution for you about that. You can check out in the description of this video, or just go to makeitasadogtrainer.com/website. I have a great solution for you on the design side of things and also the copy side of things to make sure it's beautiful and make sure that it is nice and modern and clean, and that all the copy is in all the right spots and in the right order. So going back to the copy, what I was saying before, besides having the right copy, another factor that's really important for a great website is having the copy in the right order, having it in certain sections. So making it really obvious where you are located and how to get in touch with you, so they're not confused when they get to your website. Are you even in my state? What do you even do? Like, am I in the right place? So that stuff needs to be super obvious, followed by copy that makes them want to contact you. And again, makes them feel understood and pulls them in and makes them feel like that they are finally finding the answer to their prayers and all their problems, and that they are in the right place. So having that copy toward the top is really important, besides knowing who you are, where you are, and what you do, being really obvious on the site and how to contact you. So that the order of the actual information is really important as well. Another great thing to keep in mind, which can be reassuring, is that your website can be and probably should be as simple as possible. You don't need to have a bazillion pages. A few pages of the primary information that people would need to know in order to contact you. Those are the things that you need to have. Remember that your website's number one and really only job is to get people to contact you. It's not to educate the public on the things that you think that are important for everybody in the world to know about training methods and your philosophies and your mission and all that stuff. It's just to get people who are near you and who are right for you as clients to want to contact you and to do that. That's it. So when you look at your website, look at it and think about, is this information for any purpose other than to get people to contact me? Is it information they need to know before we have our first conversation? So you might be tempted to put all kinds of extra information about your training methods and your background and all kinds of stuff that maybe policies, things like that, all kinds of stuff that doesn't even really need to be there, that they don't need to know before they contact you. So you might want to look at it and remove those things. Simple is way better than just tons and tons of information. You're not trying to avoid getting people to contact you and avoid having to talk to other humans. You want them to contact you. So you don't necessarily want to just bombard them with as much information as possible to have to avoid conversation, because that will not get you clients. So now that you know some of the big picture do's and don'ts for your website, head over to makeitasadogtrainer.com/website and grab those goodies. And there's a ton of other videos on here, on YouTube, and on makeitasadogtrainer.com for you to find that will help you with your website, your programs, your sales process, your prices, your advertising methods, and everything related to getting clients and marketing your dog training business and making it as a dog trainer. So I will see you in the next video, or head over to makeitasadogtrainer.com now and check it all out. And I'll see you there.